and welcome to the Voice of Maritime, NIMASA This Week. I'd like to begin by wishing you a Happy New Year and to welcome you to 2021. On behalf of the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo, his team and staff here at the Apex Maritime Regulator and Promoter, we wish you the very best ahead. We say to you to set your sails, set your goals, for great things are indeed about to happen in Nigeria's maritime and shipping industry this 2021. On this program, our goal is to educate you and encourage you to begin to take Nigeria's maritime potentials very seriously and to encourage you to explore endless possibilities so that collectively we can harness our maritime assets and grow our economy as a nation. My name is Ubong Isien, and I will be your guide on this voyage.
I am Hassan Bello, and you are watching NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime. As we begin the new year, there can be no better person in the Nigerian maritime space to set the tone for what lies ahead than the captain of the ship himself. I'm talking about the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo. In today's episode, I'll take you through my interview with him aboard the Special Mission Vessel DB Abuja, one of the Deep Blue Project vessels, where we spent some time reflecting about 2020 and with ample time to project into 2021 in terms of what to expect from the Nigerian Maritime Regulator and encouragement for the various players, professionals, and stakeholders to take their place so that collectively we can turn our maritime fortunes around. So if you're ready, join me on the Special Mission Vessel DB Abuja as we take the DG of NIMASA to task. It's 2021. Welcome back. It's still NIMASA This Week, the Voice of Maritime, and it's our first episode for 2021. We are currently on board the Special Mission Vessel DB Abuja, Deep Blue Abuja. And I have with me the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamo. And we want to go into 2021 as it sets the stage for what we are to expect as far as the maritime sector is concerned. DG, welcome to 2021. I think Happy New Year is very much in order.
Thank you very much, Mr. Obong. Let me start by wishing our maritime practitioners, professionals, stakeholders, and friends Happy New Year. And to add that for us in NIMASA, we will work hard and strive to ensure that we have a better year 2021, a year that we will have to harness the Nigerian maritime assets. It's not by accident that God makes Nigeria a coastal state. So far, we have 8 littoral states, and it's time for us to work together with these states and make sure that we harness the resources that we have and get the real benefits of our seas for our own economic prosperity. Thank you.
Absolutely, and I couldn't agree more with the fact that we're such a blessed nation as it relates to our maritime potential. And of course, it's your responsibility as the captain of the Nigerian maritime domain to harness those potentials into reality. But let's just cast our minds back briefly. It's been 9 months since assuming command of the bridge of the Nigerian maritime domain. Summarily, how has it been since March 2020?
Well, unfortunately, Mr. Obong, all over the world, as you know, the year 2020 has been a very doom year in terms of, especially in terms of COVID-19. We had a lot of challenges, and then, the economic situation all over the world has never been the same. But we thank God we are able to navigate and have a number of milestones in terms of progress in our own maritime industry. It was in the year 2020 we have seen the emergence of our own maritime security assets. More than 85% are now in our own custody. And then we are just waiting to receive the special mission aircraft and the special mission helicopters. With this project alone, I think we will be able to say bye-bye on the issue of maritime security challenges in this country, not only in Nigeria but also in the Gulf of Guinea. We have just recently concluded a kind of summit, engineered by the United States of America, and because of this asset, we uphold our leadership in trying to bring back sanity in the Gulf of Guinea that is being tagged the most dangerous place to do a maritime trade or shipping business in the world. With this asset, we are good to go. It's within 2020. And with that, the United States of America commended us, seeing the airport we put in place to make sure that the year 2021 we deploy this asset and ensure we have safety and security within the maritime domain. And it's in the year 2020, for the first 5 to 7 years, the IMSAS report, that is the voluntary audit, or now mandatory audit by the International Maritime Organizations that we did. So far, we now presented it to the International Maritime Organization for them to see how far we go and the level of compliance we have made in terms of conformity with the international best practices in the maritime arena in this country. We presented it, and the International Maritime Organization, they are looking forward to give us an answer on where we are all right and or not. I just mentioned the issue of 8 coastal states. I've made contact with the governors of those 8 coastal states just last month. We started with Bayelsa State Governor. You must have seen it. And we agreed that we are going to address 3 issues in Bayelsa, starting with wreck removal and rare recycling factory with the Bayelsa State Governor. And then the introduction of deep blue forts. And then the thirdly has to do with Maritime Academy. So with this, the Maritime Academy will take off the minds of the younger Nigerians that into this kind of crimes, to go back to school and do the rightful thing. On the issue of the wreck recycling, we will find job for so many meaningful Nigerians within the Niger Delta region to have a sense of livelihood. And then on the issue of deep sea ports, we will now see a lot of foreign investors coming in on the way and manner they can invest on deep sea ports. So this is Bayelsa. Now the remaining 7 states, we are waiting for the response from those governors, and I'm sure we are going to have a positive response. Our target is to ensure that the 1.6 trillion investments and assets in terms of wealth that comes to Nigeria, and we will work hard to ensure that this has been harnessed and achieved On the issue of those who laid the golden eggs, that is the staffs. The staff welfare has been fantastic. In less than 3 months after assumptions of office, for the first time, we promoted the staffs. The issue of welfare, we are addressing it. I don't have to mention the type of welfare we are going, but the staff, they are now feel they own themselves and adequately taken care of, properly motivated, setting the goal and the roles and the objective of the agency towards achieving what we desire to achieve. Our aim is to be the best maritime nation in the whole of Africa, not West Africa. So those are the few things we achieved within the 2020.
This is Princess Vicky Astrop, the Executive Vice Chairman, CEO, ENL Consortium Limited, and you are watching NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
I must confess that you've had a very busy 2020, a very busy past 9 months, navigating especially the challenge or the challenges that COVID-19 have actually thrown at the maritime industry, especially as it relates to seafarers. I know you did quite some work with regards to their welfare. It's worth reminding Nigerians.
Well, the issue of seafarers, first of all, as you are aware, the challenges of the COVID-19 affected the seafarers. And in the whole of workforce in the world, it's only seafarers that continue to remain standing and working throughout the COVID-19. Only the seafarers, while we were on lockdown, they were busy at sea, moving from one country to another. There's no day, no minutes, no hour that seafarers stop working because of COVID-19. So we are the first country to designate the seafarers as essential workers. We are one of the first countries that issued marine notice to say that seafarers should be having the right of, change, the change in terms of, working facilities. And we introduced a number of marine notices which the international maritime organizations responded positively, appreciating our own efforts to ensure that, yes, we are the maritime nation and we are off and doing to make sure that we comply with international best practices. So the issue of seafarers has been in the front burners. We have just concluded in trying to send our own cadets to go for sea time. Even with this COVID-19, we envisage about 250 out of 600 left from the National Seafarers Development Program. They are about to leave, maybe within the second week of January 2021.
Okay, let's move on to 2021, as you've just alluded. NIMASA is the apex regulator, apex promoter of everything maritime in Nigeria. So I'm going to ask you, what is your outlook? You've given us a picture of what you had to grapple with in 2020. What's your outlook as you go into 2021? What should we look forward to in general? Are we to be much more hopeful and expectant?
Well, thank you very much. As you are aware, when I came in, I try as much as possible to comprise the issue of my own strategic agenda. And that strategic agenda is known as 3.S. That 3.S entails maritime security, maritime safety, and then shipping development. Now let's take each one by one. The issue of maritime security. I've just mentioned at my opening interview that we have received 85% of our maritime security assets. In so doing, we are now developing strategy along with the International Maritime Organization to have the national strategic maritime security outlook. So In doing so, we will have, for the first time, a kind of national maritime security strategy that will encompass all the agencies to come together and ensure that we fight the common enemy, this called pirates. Number two, we are now working towards having National Security Committee. The National Maritime Security Committee will now cascade the National Maritime Security Strategy into their own agenda, whereby from time to time they will be meeting for the first time. As you are aware, the problem of 9/11 in the United States of America was that all the security agencies, the CIA, the FBI, were aware of the intention of the criminals to attack the soil of the United States of America. But because of lack of synergy, they were unable to coordinate and stop that particular attack. Now we are learning from that experience. So we are now going to have a National Maritime Security Committee that will sit down from time to time, articulate, share information and coordinate information. And as you can see from 2020, for the first time, all the security agencies, they were together. Let me take you, for example, the inspection of assets of this Deep Blue project. Both the Nigerian Air Force, Nigerian Army, Nigerian Navy, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Maritime Police, and then a lot of others agencies, they were together to inspect these assets. For the first time, we are coming under the same umbrella to make sure that we deal with this issue once and for all. So each and every one of us will have his own, agenda. For instance, if you look at the assets, at the ground floor, we have our own ammo tank 17. This will be taken care of by the Nigerian Army. We have 3 special mission aircraft. We have 3 special mission helicopters. Both the 2 will be taken care by Nigerian Air Force and Nigerian Navy. And then we have special mission vessels and special interceptor boats. This one will be manned by Nigerian Navy. Now, when you come to the command and control of this asset, it's going to be shared responsibility between the Nigerian Navy and the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. So you can see tactically, the issue of maritime security is being dovetailed to ensure that each and every person has his own responsibility. Where your own responsibility is tough, that's where another person's responsibility begins. So in terms of the issue of maritime security, we are going ahead, far ahead where we are now. What we are going to do in the year 2021 is the implementation and deployment of this asset. And hopefully, before the mid-2021, we will start reaping the benefit of this asset as well as what we intend to achieve in terms of one of the threefold strategies that we are going to have.
Hi, I am Pat Utomi and you're watching NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
Now, the second leg, it has to do with safety. Day in, day out, we have been receiving complaints of accidents, boat mishaps, and other things. Within the coastal waters, the issue of boat mishaps, even though it's the responsibility of the Nigerian Inland Waterways Authority and the Lagos, agency in charge of safety. But safety is a business of everybody. Whatever we intend to achieve at the high sea as an agency, MARAD, so we have to inculcate it even within our own coastal waters. It's been encouraged by the international maritime organizations. So in doing so, we have gone far in trying to launch our global maritime distress safety system in our own domain. So far, we have concluded the Regional Maritime Coordinating Center, which is warehousing 9 countries within the West African states. We have 4 stations. We concluded the Regional Maritime Coordinating Center at Krikri. We concluded the Takwa Bay station. What is left now is the Oron Center and Escravos Center.
Okay. All right. So, I hope you've enjoyed our first installment of my interview with the DG of NIMASA projecting into 2021. Next week, we'll take you through the concluding phase of that interaction so that you can have a full picture as to what to expect from your apex regulator and promoter as far as maritime is concerned. Remember, there's a lot going on in Nigeria's maritime domain, and we'd like you to be a part of that conversation. I'd like to read to you a tweet by the Director General of NIMASA concerning 2021. He says, in 2021, our maritime domain is poised to witness significant progress along the tripod of security, safety, and shipping. All hands must be on deck. Practitioners, policymakers, stakeholders, politicians, and of course, Nigerians in general, so that together we can find a more renewable source to generate income for our national sustenance. That is the future of our economy. After all, we are a coastal nation. So, you can continue this conversation with the DG of NIMASA at his Twitter handle @JamoBashir, while also following NIMASA Official on all of our social media handles as displayed on the screen. And of course, visit our website for more information about what the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency is focused on week.
My name is Dr. Bashir Jamo, the Director General, Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, on board SMB DB Abuja. You are watching NIMASA This Week, the voice of maritime. Stay tuned.
Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State, and you are watching NIMASA This Week.
My name is Ubong Isian, as I leave you with the words of the legendary shipping magnate, Sir Walter Raleigh when he said, "Whosoever controls the seas controls the trade. Whosoever controls the trade controls the wealth of the world." Nigeria has seas. It's time to trade. That's what the maritime domain is for. And that's what NIMASA is about. After all, we are the voice of maritime. I'll see you next time.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International.